We're now joined on the line by Brigadier Mathapelo Pieters from the South African Police Service. Welcome and thank you so much for making the time. Have any arrests been made?
Good day, Desiree, and good day to your viewers. At this stage, we haven't made any arrests as yet, but we are investigating. We want to be sure that when we do arrest people, that the cases are prosecutable and that they will be able to face the might of the law.
How are you improving your intelligence services in terms of knowing, for argument's sake, if there's going to be another raid this week?
If there's going to be?
If there's going to be any more disruptions this week, and are you going to have another raid?
We are working very hard to intensify all aspects of our investigations as well as our deployments. Our intelligence is on the ground. In fact, even that very operation on Thursday, it was because of our intelligence that had found out that there was a consignment of worth over 10 million rands that had come into Johannesburg, and hence the operation.
Have you been able to identify the people who created this wall of resistance against the police and prevented you from getting to the building that has the illegal consignment?
That is why I indicated earlier that we haven't been able to make any arrests, but we are working on it. We have collected CCTV footage. I mean, there are videos all over social media. Our picture analysts, are going through those pictures to make sure that when we do arrest, we arrest the people responsible for that violence.
Is there no other way to get to this building, for argument's sake, using ununiformed police officers so that you get to the goods?
Desiree, what I can assure the citizens of the country and of Johannesburg is that police will definitely not be discouraged from conducting these operations. We have conducted them in the past. Yes, we will employ all sorts of means. I mean, just for argument's sake, our intelligence is on the ground and we know what is happening. So we are just trying to plan better so that we because of the resistance that we met and the element of violence as well as undermining the authority of this country, that we are ready to deal with whatever we face when we do the operation.
Is the police service worried that this week's events undermined your authority and your ability to keep things in check in the CBD?
I know that the JCPS cluster, as well as all of other government departments, have condemned this incident because really we would not expect that the rules of the country would be undermined in such a manner. However, I want to put into perspective that what is seen on the video clips on social media as police reversed out of the situation, that is a tactical move, and that we were doing to make sure that we don't endanger the lives of people. We didn't want to create a bloodshed because it was either a tactical withdrawal or police resorting to live ammunition, and we didn't want to do that. So I do not think that it is a question of the police's ability to respond to the situation, but rather prioritizing that the lives of people are spared.
Give us a sense of how big the problem of crime and, in this particular case, the bringing in of counterfeit goods into the city.
We do have a serious problem of counterfeit goods. Just in April alone, we confiscated goods of over hundreds and millions of rands in April this year that were confiscated during some of our operations. But we do find that the counterfeit consignments do find their way. So perhaps, like the provincial commissioner said, this problem is much bigger than Gauteng, and that is why we are working closely with other government departments to see how we can curb this problem before it even crosses the borders or comes through to provinces and cities like Johannesburg.
Where are the origins of these products? Where do they come from?
That is something that would have that the Interpol would be able to respond to. So at this stage, I do know that we are working closely with other law enforcement agencies, but I can only respond for the police in Gauteng.
Are you getting any complaints from citizens in terms of their ability to witness these things being delivered in South Africa? Have any citizens come forward in this particular instance to say we know where this violence came from?
At this stage, we haven't had any witnesses who are able to identify people who are responsible for the violence, but we are working closely, on the other hand, with brand owners who are the ones that have been complaining that people are selling replicas and fake brands, fake imitations rather of their brands, and thus breaking the economy of the country. So in as far as that is concerned and identifying who the traders, the illegal traders are, yes, we have information that we get from the community, from members of the community. But in reference to this specific incident, at this point we haven't been able to get any information yet, but we are appealing to members of the public who might have witnessed, even if it's just one person, to come forward and identify the perpetrators of that crime.
What assurances can you give members of the public in terms of their safety?
Police will do all in their power to make sure that, firstly, that type of an incident never recurs. And we have deployed and we are monitoring the area closely to make sure that that kind of violence doesn't happen again. Because when we were there, it was not to create or to stir up violence, but it was rather for crime prevention towards the restoring safety and security in the country. So we want to assure our members of the public that police will be out in the streets to make sure that they are safe. And we also want to appeal to our members of the public, from what we see on social media, to not take the law into their own hands. They must allow the police to do our work. We will fight this for them.
Thanks for making the time to talk to us this morning.
Thank you.
Brigadier Mathapelo Pieters from the South African Police Service.